People think that the President of the United States has the power for debt forgiveness. He does not. He can postpone, he can delay, but he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress.
Joining me now, Walser Wealth Management President Rebecca Walser. And Rebecca, there's so many things to unpack here, but first, I want to ask you about the fairness aspect of this to all Americans who didn't go to college or who went to school and paid back their loans.
This is really the government picking winners, Charles. You're 100% right. All of those people that said, I can't afford it, so I'm not going. I can't afford to pay back the loan, so I'm not going to do it. All those people are saying, well, shoot, if I had known the government would bail me out, again, I should have made a different calculation. It's not fair. It's picking the winners and saving the losers. You know
what's interesting about this? Listening to Nancy Pelosi saying that the president can delay it. Also, we're going to hear that there's going to be the 7th delay, another 4 months. I mean, they may delay this into, forever. Really. And here's the thing. And you go back to, remember the great financial crisis when you couldn't have foreclosures and things like that. I knew people who were going to lose their home, and they knew they were going to lose it. So they went 2-3 years without paying any bills, mortgages, but they bought everything. They had new cars, new refrigerators. Larry Summers talking about, how this is going to add to the inflation crisis. In many ways, that adds insult to injury because those same folks who aren't getting a nickel will share in the misery of more inflation, won't they?
That's exactly right, Charles. It's just like what they did with the Inflation Reduction Act, where they gave $7,500 credits for buying an electric vehicle when GM and Ford raised the prices the same month by $8,000, $6,200 to $8,500. This is asinine. This is not fixing the problem. If they were serious about fixing the problem, this is purely political right before an election. We all know this. This was a campaign promise. If they were serious about fixing the problem, they would go to the universities and figure out what is a university degree actually economically worth? What does it produce? What kind of job? What's sustainable? What's realistic? Right. This is just a bailout for colleges and universities. They will just say, hey, the government will come in and bail you out. Don't worry about what we're charging you. It's fine that it's outpaced inflation for the last 25 years. No problem, because the government will bail you out. And we have just authorized $1 trillion of spending this month, Charles. This month. I think the administration believes its own definition of recession and thinks that they can just keep printing while the Fed is trying to figure out what he's going to talk about on Friday morning from Jackson Hole, because we still have inflation. And if you run the numbers, we have to be somewhere in a 4% rate for the Fed to get with this inflation under control. So this is just exacerbating and not acknowledging the real problem with college tuition, the cost. All the people that didn't go to college don't get this bailout. The people that are getting bailed out are people that have 4-year college degrees. What are we talking about here? What's going on? These are the people that are most best positioned to be able to afford the rest of their life. This is not dealing with poverty in any way in this country.
It's mind-boggling. It really is. Rebecca, always appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Meantime, thank you, Charles.